dream of a career at the pinnacle of motorsports. For many of these young aspiring drivers, it starts at the FIA-certified Formula 4 Southeast Asia Championship, the first step in single-seater Formula racing. The inaugural season has come to a close, and through the 6-event championship, we have seen these young titans in the mix of plenty of race action, all in the pursuit of becoming the region's first champion. This is the Formula 4 Southeast Asia Championship.
Hello and welcome to the Formula 4 Southeast Asia Championship. I'm Daniel Woodruff, and after 36 races across 6 events happening in Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia and the Philippines, the inaugural season of this championship has drawn to a close. After all the hard work that's been put in behind the scenes to bring the FIA Formula 4 format to Asia, the 2016-17 season has proven to be an exciting affair all around with plenty of race action from the get-go. There's been plenty to look back on, so let's get right in.
The inaugural 2016 FIA-certified Formula 4 Southeast Asia Championship featured 6 race weekends with 36 races throughout the season. That equates to well over 300 track hours for these young race rookies. The season kicked off at the Sepang International Circuit in Malaysia before heading to the Clark International Speedway in the Philippines. From there, these young guns traveled to Indonesia's Central International Circuit before heading for a second stop in Sepang. The championship then headed north to Thailand's Buriram United International Circuit before returning to Sepang for a third and final time of the season. Championship points are awarded at each event, with 25 points for first all the way down to 1 point for 10th place. The points add up towards an eventual championship winner and the accolade to being the first ever Formula 4 Southeast Asia champion. Points are also awarded to add up towards crowning the Fuji Xerox Star Driver for the most successful driver in each of the 6 events in the season. That's not all though. Being a part of the FIA Formula 4 global format also means that the top performing drivers will be rewarded with their first super license points, important in opening the doors for a future at the pinnacle of motor racing.
The first ever FIA-certified Formula 4 Southeast Asia Championship kicked off right here at the Sepang International Circuit in August 2016. With 6 races held in intense conditions, we were assured of plenty of race action, and we were not disappointed.
Located 45 minutes from Malaysia's capital city, the Herman Tilke Design Circuit played host to the opening round of the brand new Formula 4 Southeast Asia Championship. A real driver's track, a technical beast with its 15 turns and 2 very long straights, and 5.543 kilometers of pure racing pleasure. A brand new championship, a brand new car. Event 1 would see the return of 2015 Asia Cup Series champion Jordan Love, in addition to several new faces to the grid. And the Aussie ace would get the season going in an emphatic fashion, first taking pole position, then winning the first 2 races. With a twist of a reverse grid in race 3, the honours would go to Singapore's young gun Daniel Frost, who would beat Kiwi Fane Kahia for his first win of the season. Also making his podium debut with a worthy 3rd place was India's Akash Gowda. But we were in for a great fight back from the Aussie, who overcame mechanical issues in race 3 to take the win in race 4, beating out Kiwi Fane Kahia and Frost. Another reversal of fortunes for the Aussie as a tough race 5 saw Frost claim the win ahead of Kahia and Malaysian Nazim Azman. With the top half of the grid reversed for race 6, it was all to play for, and the pair of Frost and Love would make it an epic race, dueling it out through the 8-lap race, trading the lead between them. But it would be Frost who prevailed, edging out the Aussie with the slimmest of margins of a 10th. Though the duo would take 3 wins apiece, Frost's more consistent results over the weekend also saw the Singaporean crown the first ever Fuji Xerox Star Driver Award for Event 1.
Just got my Star Driver Award, which is actually pretty good. I never expected I would get this, but it's really good that I get this kind of feeling.
After After a scintillating opening event, the Formula 4 Southeast Asia Championship traveled to its first overseas event, the Philippines. Located 60 kilometers northwest of the Filipino capital of Manila, the Clark International Speedway sits on the site of the former United States Air Force Base. Measuring 4.189 kilometers long, the 18-corner anti-clockwise circuit with the majority of its corners left-handers, the second event was poised to be an exciting affair of being at the mercy of unpredictable weather. The challenge of a new circuit at the Clark International Speedway in the Philippines also saw the country host its first ever FIA-certified race. A compressed schedule over 2 days saw free practice, qualifying, and 2 races on day 1. Poised for a strong outing in race 1 was Indonesian rookie F4SEA Martono after he stormed to his maiden Formula 4 Southeast Asia pole position. But honours would however go to India's Akash Gowda, who claimed his maiden F4SEA race victory in the midday race 1. The Indian ace went one better in race 2, claiming a hard-earned win en route to a double on day 1. With 4 more races to run on the next day, day 2 was dictated by the torrential downpour being at the mercy of a passing typhoon in the area. This resulted in the drivers having to negotiate the difficult wet conditions. And it was the local hero, Gabriel Cabrera, who prevailed over the rest to claim his first race victory on his debut in the F4SEA Championship in the early morning race 3. With the rain continuing unabated, Indonesia's F4SEA Martono finally made good on his qualifying pace to clinch his first race win of the season. Saturday's 2-time winner Akash Gowda took second ahead of Kiwi Fane Kahya. The Kiwi would come out on top in race 5 after outwitting the competition with a superb start, then successfully fending off the challenge from Martono, who settled for second and home favourite Cabrera in third. The typhoon would have the final say when the 6th and final race was postponed due to worsening conditions. With 2 race wins and a podium to his name, the Petron Star Driver Award for Event 2 of the F4SEA Championship was awarded to India's Akash Gowda.
So best weekend, and I've got this Star Driver Award, and I'm really happy for it.
Break, we review the thrills and spills from an action-packed weekend of racing at Event 3 in Indonesia. Don't go anywhere. 20 years of motorsports experience in Asia, the Meritus name is synonymous with the Asian motorsport landscape. Having established themselves 2 decades ago, the team have had numerous successes, including 36 FIA Asian Championship titles to its name. The effort has been all about creating, developing, and sustaining what the team behind the Asian Autosport Action Group calls a truly Asian autosport ecosystem.
Amongst these racing talents is Malaysia's Jasman Jaafar, who won his first FIA championship back in 2007 with Meritus GP. Jasman, how important was that first championship win in the start of your professional racing career?
I think it's very important because it was a grassroots level from karting right up to my professional career. So I had to prove myself of how good I am, and I won my first championship in single-seaters with Meritus. So and then I moved on to Europe and pursue the rest of my professional career after that. So it it was very tough, but it was very special.
Back to the racing. After Clark, the drivers headed off to another new track to the calendar, the Sentul International Circuit. Located 60 kilometers south of Jakarta and measuring 4.12 kilometers long, a clockwise circuit, the main features include the 900-meter straight, 12 corners with 8 being right-handers, and the high-speed turn 2 and overtaking opportunities on turns 3, 4, 8, and 9. Plenty of action was on the cards at Event 3 in Indonesia. The first day of the third event in the Formula 4 Southeast Asia Championship in Indonesia saw the return of Singapore's Daniel Frost, who claimed victory in the first race on Friday. After missing out on pole position earlier in the afternoon, the youngster overtook pole sitter Fane Kahia on the opening lap. After taking the lead, Frost never looked back en route to his first win. In second place was Indonesian and home favorite Presley Martono, who finished ahead of Malaysia's Ishraf Danish. With 3 races on day 2, the early honors would go to India's Akash Gowda with a hard-fought win in race 2. Finishing in second was Ishraf Danish, while Mohamed Nawala's P3 finish in the race made it a double celebration for the 2 Indian drivers. Race 3 belonged to Kiwi Fane Kahia, who managed to edge out Presley Martono, who settled for second. Rounding off the top 3 was Malaysia's Chia Wing Hung. Though declared a wet race prior to the start of the 14-lap race 4, the rain had actually ceased by the time the drivers went out. The heat was on as the drivers began struggling to manage their tires in the rapidly drying track. To add to the excitement, home favorite Martono made it a memorable race when he pulled off one of the best overtaking moves of the season for the lead from Kahia on the final corner of the final lap to claim his first win of the weekend. Kahia settled in P2 ahead of India's Nawala after a flurry of activity on the final lap. With 2 more races on the final day, the 12-lap race 5 saw Kahia claim revenge over Martono with an emphatic win. India's Akash Gowda took the 3rd and final spot on the podium. The final race of the weekend witnessed the rain return on the 4.12-kilometer-long circuit. In what turned out to be a mirror result to the earlier race, Kahia again demonstrated his dominance in the tricky wet conditions with a second successive win. Martono had to settle for second, with Gowda holding on to third against a charging Daniel Frost, who returned after being absent from race 5 due to illness. The weekend would swing in Martono's favor, who after securing 5 second-place finishes and 1 race win, edged Kahia to take the Fuji Xerox Star Driver Award for the event.
It's my home race, so to get the overall champion is really good. So we made up ground in the championship, but yeah, just gonna look for these results in the next 3 rounds.
With 2 overseas races under the Young Titans belts, the drivers return here to the Sepang International Circuit for the 4th event of the championship. 6 intense races in these tropical humid conditions, it would prove to be a blistering affair.
Event 4 brought the championship back to Sepang with the returning Aussie Jordan Love drawing first blood, first with pole position, then his commanding win in race 1. Second place went to Singapore's Daniel Frost, who spent the bulk of the 10-lap race defending his position from Indonesia's Presley Martono, who eventually settled for third. A long day 2 of racing got off to an early start with the first of 4 races. The day belonged to Jordan Love, who kicked off a stellar day with an impressive win in race 2, again ahead of Frost. Akash Gowda also made a memorable return to the podium after finishing in P3. The rookie win went to Martono, who finished in 4th. Race 3 proved an interesting affair, with the starting grid determined from the drivers' finishing positions from race 2, with the top half of the grid reversed. Despite starting from P5, Love did triumph after an epic duel with Akash Gowda, who had led most of the race. The Indian had to settle for second, ahead of Martono. Love then took top honours in race 4, though the 10-lap race became a hotly contested affair between Frost and Martono for second place. This time, the Indonesian would prevail to finish in second, leaving Frost to settle for P3. things would become a bit more challenging for Love in race 5 as he had to work hard to defend the lead from Frost. But a costly mistake by the Singaporean led him to dropping down the order, which helped Love to rob home with his 5th consecutive win of the weekend. In second was New Zealand's Fane Kahia after overcoming mechanical issues to finally bag a podium finish. In P3 was Martono, who had to defend against Gouda, with the latter eventually settling for 4th. Love's domination was finally broken on the final day when Frost claimed an impressive win in the 6th and final race of the weekend. The win came at the expense of Love, who was denied a clean sweep. Gouda came home in P3 after edging out Kahia. Local hopeful Ishraf Danish finished in 6th as the best placed Malaysian finisher. His 5 race wins and 1 second place was enough for Love to take home the Fuji Xerox Star Driver Award for Event 4.
Yeah, so happy to come away with 1st place overall for the weekend. You know, 5 out of 6 wins. I'm super happy with that.
For a quick break. Coming up, action from the 5th and penultimate event of the season at the Buriram United International Circuit in Thailand. Who came out of the weekend on top? Welcome back to our review of the first season of the Formula 4 Southeast Asia Championship. After an exciting Sepang affair, the young aspiring drivers were back on the road, this time heading north to Thailand for the 5th and penultimate event at the Buriram United International Circuit. 400 kilometers northeast of the Thai capital Bangkok, this 4.554-kilometer-long circuit runs clockwise, with several straights where opportunities for overtaking are aplenty. What proved to be far more important was pinpoint accuracy across the 12 turns of the circuit. Day 1 at the 4.554-kilometer-long Buriram circuit started off with Malaysia's Ishraf Danish stealing the limelight in qualifying with the quickest time in the session. But the honours in race 1 went to Singapore's Daniel Frost. Meanwhile, in race 2, it was a Kiwi affair as Fane Kahia translated his quick pace in practice into an emphatic comeback win. Race 3 belonged to Indonesia's Presli Martono, who shone in the early morning race with a victory over Frost and local hero Warrawong Kamarakul in P3. That race also proved a happy hunting ground for Malaysia's Eric Lewis, who finished a strong 4th. Kahia would return to his winning ways in race 4 when he bagged his 2nd win ahead of Frost and Oman's Khalid Al-Wahibi. The pendulum swung back in Martono's favour in race 5 after reversing his misfortunes from race 4. Martono also took top honours in race 6 after notching up a hard-earned win ahead of Kahia and Gouda. Frost finished in 4th, edging out the Thai Kamarakul. The 7th and final race of the weekend was held as the replacement for the Typhoon Hit Event 2 at the Clark International Speedway. Having already collected the winner's trophy in race 6, Martono would make a return trip to the top of the podium with another hard-fought win. Behind the Indonesian, Malaysia's Ishraf Danish used his impressive pace to finish in 2nd. After overcoming a difficult start, Frost rounded off the podium with a hard-earned 3rd place. With 2 race wins and 3 second-place finishes, New Zealand's Kahia was also crowned the Fuji Xerox Star Driver Award for the event.
Got an event champion. It's first time in the whole entire championship, and I'm finally very, very happy to come away with that win finally, and very relieved about that.
After 5 exciting events, which has seen the championship travel more than 10,000 kilometers, the young drivers return here to the Sepang International Circuit for the season finale. 6 races to go to get us to our grand total of 36 and to help us determine who comes out on top as our first Formula 4 Southeast Asia champion.
The 6th and final event finally got underway at the Sepang International Circuit at the end of January. The packed 2-day schedule kicked off with qualifying, dominated by Presley Martono, whose time of 2 minutes 11.563 seconds saw him claim pole for race 1. The first of 4 races saw drama unfold early on when a collision between Martono and Frost at the start would end both drivers' races early on. Having inherited the lead, it was Malaysia's Ishraf Danish who would romp home with the win, with compatriot Eric Lewis coming in second position to make it a double celebration for the host nation. Coming home in third was Kahya ahead of Khalid Al-Wahaibi and Akash Gowda in P4 and P5. The accolades for race 2 went to Martono, who edged out Kahya after an action-filled 8-lap race and a superb recovery drive following his DNF in race 1. Finishing in P3 was Ishraf Danish following a captivating sprint to the finish against Frost. For race 3, the grid was determined by the drivers' finishing positions from race 2, where the top half of the grid reversed. A superb start by Frost saw the young Singaporean snatch victory, reversing his misfortunes from a non-finish in race 1. In P2, after a tough defensive drive, was Martono, who just edged out Ishraf Danish in what was a photo finish to the flag. Oman's Al-Wahaibi took home 4th, Akash Gowda in P5. Race 4 saw Martono claim his second win after having been made to work hard to defend his position right up to the end of the 10-lap race from Ishraf Danish. In P3 was Kahya ahead of Frost in P4, with Khalid Al-Wahaibi rounding off the top 5 drivers. With the grid determined by the drivers' fastest lap times from the previous race, the pole position start for race 5 would belong to Malaysia's Ishraf Danish, with Saturday's double winner Presley Martono alongside in P2. The 8-lap race was filled with battles that included a fight for the lead between Martono and Ishraf Danish, and a battle for the final podium spot between Daniel Frost and Akash Gowda. After yet another photo finish, it was Martono who would prevail with a victory, keeping Ishraf Danish at bay in P2. Finishing in third was Daniel Frost, who edged Gowda to the line. With the drivers' finishing positions from race 5 and the top half reversed, determining the grid for the 6th and final race of the season, pole position went to Oman's Khalid Al-Wahaibi ahead of Gowda and Frost. After a difficult weekend, the race was won by Gowda, who after taking the lead from Al-Wahaibi on the opening lap, never looked back as he claimed the win to end his season on a high. Al-Wahaibi finished in a stellar second position after seeing off the challenge from other drivers. Claiming another third-place finish was Malaysia's Ishraf Danish, who made it a great weekend with 6 podium finishes from the 6 races. In addition to the race that he won in race 1, the young Malaysian was also crowned the Petron Star Driver of the 6th and final event of the F4SEA Championship.
Really great now. I think I can improve more for the next season maybe, and yeah, it was all about my hard working, and yeah, we did it.
The 2016 F4SEA's first ever rookie champion is Presley Martono. He edges out Ishraf Danish, who comes home in the silver medal position, and Khalid Al-Wahaibi claiming 3rd overall in the overall rookie standings. In the overall standings, after a closely fought championship battle throughout the 36 races contested, it was Presley Martono who had the honor of being the 2016 F4SEA's first ever overall champion. Coming home in overall second is Fane Kahya of New Zealand with 563 points, and the bronze medal position in the overall driver standing was India's Akash Gowda with his haul of 457 points.
As the curtain is drawn on the first ever Formula 4 Southeast Asia Championship, there is one thing that we can be rest assured of, and that is work has already begun on the 2017 season. To keep up to date with what this new season will look like, don't forget to follow us on our Instagram, Facebook and Twitter pages, and I'll see you next season. I'm Daniel Woodruff, signing off.